Good morning. As you all know, the government of India has successfully extradited Tahabur Rana, who is the main accused in the 26/11 Mumbai attack. Now, this is a big diplomatic as well as strategic victory for the government of India at a global level. But today, we will study what is extradition and what actually is the extradition treaty. Now, you all must be thinking why this topic is important. See, as you all know, the UPSC prelims, which is scheduled on 25th May, has around 1.5 months to go. Now, this extradition topic has continuously been in news. Recently, this was new in news because of Tahabur Rana, and just 3 months before, this was in news because of Bangladesh former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Bangladesh government, the present government, is continuously demanding the extradition of Sheikh Hasina from the Indian government. So now this is very clear that this extradition topic is very important from the prelims point of view and from the mains point of view in the GS paper 2, political science and the international relation, as well as GS paper 3, the internal security, as well as political science and international relations optional paper 2. So let's begin the class about extradition and the extradition treaty. Now the first topic is what actually is the extradition. See, let's understand extradition through a definition first. Okay, be very honest. Extradition is a legal process. Mind the word legal. Extradition is a legal process by which one country transfers or surrender a criminal to another country who is accused or convicted in an criminal offense. Is that clear? Let's hear it again so that you can write the exact definition in the mains answer copy. Okay, extradition is a legal process by which one country transfer or surrenders a criminal to another country who is accused or convicted of a criminal offense in that country where it has the criminal is being transferred. Now let's understand this with example. The example we can understand by Tahabur Rana. Tahabur Rana was the main accused apart from Headley, which you all know. Tahabur Rana was the main accused in the 26/11 attack. Okay. He is supposed to be born in Pakistan, but he is a citizen of Canada at present. He was actively involved in the 26/11 attack, and that attack happened, which we all know we do not want to get in the past. And he flew away to America. Now, government of India and the United States of America government had the extradition treaty, which was signed in 1997. Now, using that treaty, the government of India has successfully extradited Tahabur Rana from USA to India just day before yesterday. Last night, he was given a 18-day NIA custody by the judicial court. Okay. Now, this all proceeding of extradition is governed through the Indian Extradition Act 1962. Indian Extradition Act 1962 was formed as a mechanism to extradite criminals. At that time, some Chinese came to India and get some crime done, and they flew away to China. Okay? So, Indian Extradition Act 1962 is the act through which provision all this process of extradition and extradition treaty is being signed. Okay. Now, this extradition is not a compulsory law because international law, international relation is in the state of anarchy. Every state, every country is sovereign. Every country is governed by its own sovereignty. So this extradition is a voluntary law. It's not a binding or obligatory law. It's a voluntary law. If one country wants, he can extradite a criminal to your country. But if he don't want, he can't because that country is governed by its own sovereign laws. Now you must be asking why. See, the criminal case which happen have some different perspective. I will go deep in further, but take an example. United States of America consider an individual as a terrorist, but China or Pakistan don't consider that individual as a terrorist because there is no universal definition of terrorism or terrorist. There is some gray area where this extradition law fails. Okay, now let's move further. Who can make an extradition request from India? See, this is a very long process, by the way. Government of India, it took 16 years to extradite Tahabur Rana from United States of America to India. This is a very long process. Ministry of External Affairs is the concerned ministry responsible for making extradition request to the concerned country. Now, this is very important. Mind this for prelims point of view. Ministry of External Affairs is the current ministry which is responsible for the extradition request to the concerned country. Now, you must be thinking, what is the process of extradition? What is the process of extradition? See, there are two kind of figurative offenders. Figurative means bhagoda. You must very common in news, bhagoda. Okay? There are two kind of figurative offenders you must be hearing. Now let's understand here. Figurative, public appearance, राइटिंग गंदी है, एंड unknown. Now, there are two kind of figurative offenders. One who has a public appearance. For example, Mehul Choksky, Nirav Modi. We all know that they are in London and they are easily staying there through golden visa or some. We know that they are actually in London, so they have a public appearance. Although they are figurative offenders, so they have public appearance. Nirav Modi, for example, Nirav Modi, Mehul Choksky. ठीक है. Now there are some unknown figurative offenders. For example, Hafiz Saeed. Hafiz Saeed is supposed to be staying in Pakistan, but Pakistan never claims that he is staying in Pakistan. So we don't know where it is. He don't have any public appearance. Okay. So unknown offenders like Hafiz Saeed. ठीक है. Now by now you must be clear. There are two kind of figurative offenders. Now for this kind of figurative offenders, ठीक है, public appearance वाले, the process is I will tell you in very crisp manner. See, first, the concerned department, let's say NIA or CBI files a case. NIA / CBI files a case. ठीक है. देखो इंडिया में FIR होना जरूरी है for getting into process of extradition. NIA or CBI files a case, then these agencies gather some primary facie evidence. Now, when they are assured we have a exactly primary facie evidence, now they transfer this entire report as well as a copy of FIR to Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, Ministry of Home Affairs transfers this all documents to Ministry of External Affairs. Okay. Now, Ministry of External Affairs through its diplomatic channels transfer all this document to the high consulate in that concerned country, and that country now start reviewing all this document, that whether all these documents are okay and are under the provisions of the extradition treaty which we have signed with that country. Okay, so this is a long process. This is a very long process. एक बार ये डॉक्यूमेंट वहां चले जाते हैं, फिर जो अक्यूज होता है वो हाई कोर्ट में या लोकल कोर्ट में अपील करता है कि आई डोंट वांट टू गेट इंडिया, दिस इज माय कंट्री, देन ही गो टू हाई कोर्ट, देन द इंडियन गवर्नमेंट विल आल्सो फाइल अ केस देयर फॉर हिज एक्सट्राडिशन, देन ही विल गो टू सुप्रीम कोर्ट लाइक दैट हैपेंड इन तहव्वुर राणा केस. दिस इज अ वेरी लॉन्ग प्रोसेस. नाउ आई होप दिस इज वेरी क्लियर. द प्रोसेस ऑफ एक्सट्राडिशन फॉर द फिगरेटिव ऑफेंडर्स हु हैड अ पब्लिक अपीयरेंस. नाउ नेक्स्ट, नाउ unknown offenders, unknown figurative offenders. For these kind of offenders, Central Bureau of this process will remain same, right? As filing a case and gathering the evidence, this process will remain same. But after this process, Central Bureau of Investigation, now this department याद रखना, not NIA, Central Bureau of Investigation will make a special request to international police. What do you mean by international police? International police means Interpol. CBI will make a special request to Interpol for issuing a red corner notice against their concerned terrorist or their offender. Now the Interpol will issue a red corner notice to entire world, all the 195 countries, and request an order to search for that particular person and arrest him, and if he is arrested, now file a case against him. Now when this process happens, after this that extradition come into effect. Okay, now let's move further. Which country can India make extradition request? ऐसे extradition का हिंदी होता है प्रत्यर्पण. अगर किसी को टफ लग रहा है एक्सट्राडिशन बार बार सुनने में, तो लेट मी बी वेरी क्लियर. एक्सट्राडिशन मीन प्रत्यर्पण. ठीक है. भारत की सरकार किन देशों से प्रत्यर्पण का निवेदन कर सकती है? सी, एट प्रेजेंट इंडिया हैज अ एक्सट्राडिशन ट्रीटी विद 43 कंट्रीज, बट इंडिया कैन मेक एक्सट्राडिशन रिक्वेस्ट टू ऑल द कंट्रीज इन द वर्ल्ड. But the final result will depend on how your diplomatic relation with that concerned country is. Now let's understand with this example. Dawood Ibrahim is in Pakistan. Is supposed to be in Pakistan or UAE. He don't have a public appearance. Okay, because India don't have an extradition treaty with Pakistan. Pakistan can easily deny that we cannot extradite Dawood Ibrahim to your country. Okay. Pakistan will immediately deny, because since you do not have an extradition treaty with India, we cannot surrender Dawood Ibrahim to India, and there are many other reasons which you all know. We do not want to get into a detail. Now, Abu Salim, take an example of Abu Salim. Abu Salim was extradited from Portugal. जब अबू सलेम का प्रत्यर्पण पुर्तगाल से किया गया था, उस टाइम पे भारत और पुर्तगाल के बीच में प्रत्यर्पण संधि साइन नहीं हुई थी. यह संधि 2007 में साइन की गई थी. बट सिंस इंडिया हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग डिप्लोमैटिक रिलेशन विद पुर्तगाल, द पुर्तगाल गवर्नमेंट एक्स्ट्राडिटेड अबू सलेम टू इंडिया अंडर सर्टेन टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन. जिसमें 2 साल की कंडीशन ये थी कि ही शुड नॉट बी गिवन कैपिटल पनिशमेंट, बिकॉज यूरोप में थोड़ा ह्यूमन राइट्स वाले ज्यादा होते हैं, तो ही वाज वन कंडीशन वाज ही शुड नॉट बी गिवन द कैपिटल पनिशमेंट। दूसरी पनिशमेंट क्या थी? ही मस्ट नॉट बी इन जेल फॉर मोर देन 25 years। Now you have been seeing in news, Abu Salim has filed a case in Supreme Court that since I have been in jail for last 25 years, please release me now, please release me now। ठीक है, आई होप यहाँ तक सबको क्लियर है। ठीक है, नाउ लेट्स मूव फर्दर। पॉलिटिकल एंड मिलिट्री ऑफेंस अंडर द इंडियन एक्सट्राडिशन एक्ट 1962 एंड द एक्सट्राडिशन ट्रीटी, जिस इंडिया जिस कंट्री साइन करता है, political and military offense, political and military leaders are not extradited। For example, Sheikh Hasina। Now you all must be aware in the current affairs that there is a change in government in Bangladesh just 3 months ago। Now that Bangladesh government is requesting India that since Sheikh Hasina is accused of genocide, you must extradite it to Bangladesh। But Indian government is very clear from the standpoint of view that we do not do extradition for the political leaders। अब ऐसे तो कल को क्या बोलते हैं कि यूएसए में ट्रम्प जी आ गए हैं, बाइडेन जी पे 10 तो केस ठोक देंगे, बाइडेन लंदन भाग के चले आएंगे और फिर वहां पे एक्सट्रेडिशन शुरू हो जाएगा। ऐसा नहीं होता है। ठीक है, नॉट टेक अनदर एग्जांपल, ऑंग सान सू की, शी वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ म्यांमार। अराउंड 5 years ago, if I am not wrong, around 5 years ago, there was a change in government in Myanmar and military coup took place। Now there military coup is ruling। Okay, now imagine if somehow in any case after few years Aung San Suu Kyi or any other XYZ person become the Prime Minister of India by ending Prime Minister of Myanmar, sorry, by ending military rule in Myanmar, and that concerned Prime Minister, who is the military leader, flew away to India, London, UAE, Dubai, anywhere else in the country. Now against that person, extradition cannot take place. Extradition cannot take place. Okay, I hope this is clear. Political and military offense are not considered under the extradition treaty। Now let's move further. Principle of extraditable offense। Now when India or when some country signs the extradition treaty, there are some list of offenses like this, like genocide, terrorism, murder, or let's say air hostage। Now there are some list of crimes which are specifically given under this treaty। Now only under this crime a country or the concerned country can request for extradition। If that crime is not included in this list, you cannot request for extradition। ठीक है, but ultimately I said you ना, diplomatic relations work। I will come what I mean to say this। ठीक है, principle of extraditable offense is done। Principle of dual criminality, this is very important principle। अब इसको समझो, आपको शायद पता होगा दुबई नहीं, सॉरी बैंक, हाँ दुबई, यूएई में अगर आप बैंकरप्ट हो जाते हो तो आपको 50 साल की जेल हो जाएगी। आपको 50 साल की जेल हो जाएगी। If you file the bankruptcy, that you said I am bankrupt, I cannot pay the loan, you will be jailed for 50 years। But in India, if you are bankrupt, you won't go into jail। Many big businessmen like Anil Ambani filed a bankruptcy that I am not bankrupt। ठीक है, you won't get into jail। Same sex marriage in USA, same sex marriage is legal, but in India till now in the Supreme Court judgment, same sex marriage is not legal, it is illegal, it is a crime। So what that principle of dual criminality means, that whatever the offense is in my country has to be offense in your country। Whatever the offense is in my country has to be offense in your country। Okay, I hope this is very clear with the example। ठीक है, since terrorism is offense in India as well as terrorism is offense in United States, Tahfur Rana was successfully extradited to India। ठीक है, now I hope this principle of dual criminality is very much clear to you all। Bankruptcy, हाँ, in UK like pornography is legal, but in India it is illegal। Again, you cannot come to a negotiation for extradition for that particular case। Prima facie case requirement। Now to make an extradition, as I said you before, the agency has to gather sufficient evidence to against that person to against whom this extradition is being processed। आपके पास पर्याप्त मात्रा में सबूत और गवाह होने चाहिए जिसके लिए आप प्रत्यर्पण की मांग कर रहे हैं। कल को आपको वहां के कोर्ट में भी खड़ा होना पड़ेगा, दिखाना पड़ेगा कि इसके खिलाफ हमारे पास संपूर्ण गवाह और सबूत हैं कि इसको आप हमें प्रत्यर्पण कर दीजिए। प्रिंसिपल ऑफ फेसी केस रिक्वायरमेंट इज डन। ओके, रूल ऑफ स्पेशलिटी। सी, इफ तहव्वुर राणा का प्रत्यर्पण किस केस में हुआ है? टेररिज्म के केस में। 26/11 के जो वो घटना हुई थी उसके टेररिज्म के केस में हुआ है। अब आप तहव्वुर राणा का प्रत्यर्पण यूएसए से इंडिया में करके इंडिया में उसके खिलाफ मर्डर का केस नहीं चला सकते, उसके खिलाफ किसी और चीज का केस नहीं चला सकते। दिस इज कॉल्ड प्रिंसिपल ऑफ स्पेशलिटी। एक्सट्राडिशन हैज टू बी डन ओनली ऑन दैट केस, द लीगल प्रोसेस हैज टू बी डन ओनली ऑन दैट केस ऑन व्हिच द पर्टिकुलर एक्सट्राडिशन केस वाज मेड। ओके, रूल ऑफ स्पेशलिटी। प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डबल जेपर्डी। नाउ देयर इज एक्सेप्शन हियर। बाय द वे, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डबल जेपर्डी किस आर्टिकल में आता है? प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डबल जेपर्डी कम्स अंडर आर्टिकल 20 सब क्लॉज 1 ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया। ठीक है, ये याद रखना, मे बी एग्जाम में पूछ दे, बिकॉज एक्सट्राडिशन न्यूज में है तो प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डबल जेपर्डी भी न्यूज में आना ही आना है। ठीक है, नाउ इफ अ पर्टिकुलर पर्सन हैज कमिटेड अ क्राइम इन इंडिया, इफ अ पर्टिकुलर तहव्वुर राणा हैज कमिटेड अ क्राइम इन इंडिया, नाउ ही इज इन जेल in United States and he has been convicted for the same case, for the 2611 case, and he is in jail from last 10 or 12 years। he cannot be extradited to India because principle of double duty, सेम जुर्म के लिए आप किसी भी व्यक्ति को 2 बार सजा नहीं दे सकते। ये अपनी सजा वहां काट रहा था, तो इसको भी इंडिया में वो सजा नहीं मिल सकती है। बट एज आई सेड यू, एट लास्ट international law work on diplomacy, and international law is in the state of anarchy. I am sovereign to my country, I can decide anything that is favorable for my country. ठीक है, तो थ्रू इंडिया डिप्लोमेटिक मींस प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डबल। आपको पता है जब लास्ट में सुप्रीम कोर्ट में तहव्वुर राणा को ने यही पिटीशन फाइल की थी, दिस इज द वायलेशन ऑफ प्रिंसिपल ऑफ डबल जेओपार्डी बिटवीन इंडिया एंड यूएसए, एक्सट्राडिशन ट्रीटी 1997, बट आवर लॉयर फॉट वेरी वेल एंड ही वाज सक्सेसफुली एक्स्ट्राडिटेड टू इंडिया। नाउ दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट एक्स्ट्राडिशन। आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू। इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट, प्लीज टाइप अ कमेंट एंड आई विल रिप्लाई विद इन 24 आवर्स। ओके, सो आई होप आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया होगा। प्लीज लाइक करिए, सब्सक्राइब करिए और शेयर करिए। जय हिंद।